Hey freaks, it's JJ. Welcome to my channel. If you are watching this video as I have just uploaded it, then know that this is a pre-recorded video that I shot some time ago. And I am uploading it now because I am currently on maternity leave, but I didn't want to leave you guys without any content for the next couple months, so I have pre-recorded a couple videos for you guys. And this one comes as a request. This is my top Coheed and Cambria songs, and since my channel kind of started out as like a Coheed and Cambria fan page channel, I know that a lot of you really enjoy Coheed and Cambria content, so yeah, this is my top Coheed songs. I believe the request was actually for like my top 10 Coheed songs, but I could not narrow it down to just 10, so this is my top 20 Coheed and Cambria lists that I will be counting down. And yeah, make sure you hit subscribe and all that good stuff, and yeah, here we go. Before we get started, make sure you hit subscribe and join my Metalhead community down in the description if you want to get bonus content and newsletters and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's jump into this list. Alright, so starting off with number 20, we have the track Feathers from the No World for Tomorrow album. And if you guys watched my video on my Coheed and Cambria album ranking video, you'll know that I love the album No World for Tomorrow, and yeah, this is just one of the tracks that I would listen to on repeat when I was first getting into Coheed. And the music video for this track is absolutely hilarious. And yeah, I'm hoping that we figure out a little bit more about this track as far as like the lore and storyline goes whenever the comics are released for No World for Tomorrow, which should be hopefully sometime soon-ish. I know they've been working on it. But yeah, honestly, I don't really know what this track means as far as like storyline wise. So yeah, I'm looking forward to figuring that out. Anyway, in place number 19, we have 10 Speed. And of course, I have 10 Speed tattooed on me right here. He's like my favorite little like funny villain character. And this, of course, off of the Good Apollo and Burning Star 4 album. And again, there's like the whole nostalgia factor that goes with this song is being like No World for Tomorrow and Good Apollo and Burning Star 4 were like the two albums that I rocked on repeat when I was first getting into Coheed. And yeah, I remember listening to this song and arguing with my friend at the time about whether or not he said 10 Speed of God's Blood and Burial, or whether or not he says 10 Speed of God's Blood, you married a whore. Which I definitely hear it go back and forth. I'm pretty sure he says 10 Speed of God's Blood and Burial, and then the next time he says 10 Speed of God's Blood, you married a whore, and just flips back and forth between those two, even though I think the official lyrics say 10 Speed of God's Blood and Burial. If you listen to it, he absolutely says you married a whore, like somewhere in there. Just listen to it and see if I'm right, or if this topic has already been talked about by a lot of other people before. But yes, I love this track. Next up, in place number 18, I have Welcome Home. And I know that a lot of like diehard Coheed fans and all you like OG Coheed fans are so sick of hearing Welcome Home as their encore song. But you can't deny just how incredible it is. Like, it is the song. And of course, like, people who have no idea who Coheed and Cambria are have probably at some point or another heard this song, and it's the crowd pleaser, and it really just doesn't get old, in my opinion. Like, I know it's been probably overplayed a lot, and maybe a lot of your guys' opinions, but it's just, you can't deny how fucking good this song is. It's just written perfectly, and you can't get over that riff. I mean, and you can't get over it. It's not something that you get tired of or get over at any point. Of course, it's not like at the top of my list, but it is just a classic Coheed song that will always make me happy. Let me know down in the comments if you think Welcome Home is like overplayed and you're kind of over it. But yeah, I still really love it. And in track number 17, we have a newer track. This is off of their brand new album, Window of the Waking Mind, and that is Ladders of Supremacy. You can't deny that this is just like a badass song. I love their new album. I know it's gotten some mixed reviews, mostly positive reviews by most of what I've seen, you know, in Facebook groups and all that, and talking to other Coheed fans. But some people don't like that it's, you know, overproduced, as they say, and they don't like that it's not as much of a rock album as some of their other work is. But I absolutely love the new album, and this is definitely one of the bangers on their new record. And in spot number 16, I have sort of a bonus track. This one is Deranged, which of course they wrote for the Arkham Asylum video game thing, Batman. I clearly don't play video games. Actually, I think I did play this game once, and I think I bought it solely because Coheed had written a song for this video game. But this song is just badass, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it as much. And of course, many of you diehard Coheed fans know all about it, but in case you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's called Deranged off of the Arkham Asylum album, and it's awesome. He obviously wrote it from the Joker's perspective, and it's just a really fucking well written song, and I love the lyrics to it because it draws this parallel between the Joker and Batman, and showing how that these two people are really just fucking two insane people, yet one is a villain and one is a hero, and you know what is the true difference? But they're both fucking crazy people who dress up like someone they're not and go out and, you know, do weird stuff. So I love the whole concept of that. Anyway, moving on. In spot number, where am I at? And in spot number 15, we have Goodnight Fair Lady off of the Afterman album. And I love this song so much because it just shows how Claudio's like creative skills and his weirdness that I love so much. But basically this song is about, it's like a musical that he wrote about this guy trying to roofie a woman at a bar. And the concept is so dark and so fucked up, but like it's such a happy, like, musical that he wrote, and I love how he writes such dark subject matter and then puts it in like a really happy song. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I can absolutely imagine this whole like stage musical playing out in my head when I listen to this song, and I really wish that it would be something that someone performs at some point, just this, but seriously, it needs to be adapted to the stage. Someone please do this, please. And then in spot number 14 is another one off the Afterman album, and that is Century the Defiant. And yeah, Afterman is one of my all-time favorite albums, and every track on there is absolutely 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So it was really hard not to just entirely fill this list with songs from Afterman and No World for Tomorrow. But yeah, you'll see plenty of Afterman songs on here, and Century is definitely one of them. But yeah, it's just a great, you know, heavier song on the album, and yeah, it has a great concept behind it as well. Moving on to place number 13, I have The Suffering. So this was the very first Coheed and Cambria song that I had ever heard, and I still remember, you know, listening to it to this day for the first time. I was like in the back of my mom's car with my boyfriend at the time, and he like handed me his earbuds and made me listen to this song. And it was really funny because the guy I was dating at the time, he was like this super like hardcore metalhead, long hair, beard, tough looking. I'd like only listened to like the most brutal death metal, but he loved Coheed and Cambria, and he would sing The Suffering all the time, and I just thought it was hilarious that this guy who thought he was so tough, so cool, was singing this really cheery, fun song. And yeah, it is just a fucking great song all around. The music video is really random, but it's a great song. And in spot number 12, we have The Hard Sell. And yes, again, another Afterman song, and this song just, you know, for the whole album, like just the way Claudio's vocals are throughout the whole album, it hits you right here. Like he I don't know what he does, but like there are certain notes that he hits and certain like lyrics that just, I don't know, you can feel all the emotion, and you can't help but absorb it and feel it right back. So yeah, this is one of those songs that really kind of just hits you hard. At least it does for me anyway. And in spot number 11, we have another new track, and that is Shoulders off of their brand new album. And the first time I heard this song, I loved it. And yeah, it's one of the slightly heavier songs on the new album, and the chorus is so fucking catchy, you cannot help but sing it. And yeah, it's just so good. I love it. All right, and we are now getting into the top 10 half of my list, and in spot number 10, I have No World for Tomorrow. This song is so good. Again, No World for Tomorrow is just a masterpiece in my opinion, and it still has that like progginess of like their earlier records, but it's, you know, straying towards the new sound that they develop further in their later albums. And yeah, No World for Tomorrow is just one that you can see like this like epic cinematic like battle going on, and it's like the climax of the story, and it just feels epic. And I love that about this track, and I love that about this whole album, is how no one really knows what the story is or like has any, you know, concrete proof of what the story is, at least not yet. But you can still see a story playing out, despite not really having the lore to back it up. Anyway, moving on to spot number 9, I have The Gutter. And this song was so much fun to see live. I went to see them back in, 2019 at a festival, and I got to hear this song played live for the first time, and it was so fun. And just, yeah, everyone in the crowd screaming, "Call your mother." And it was so fun. And this song is just a banger in my opinion. And that takes us to spot number 8. And in spot number 8, I have Here to Mars. This is the only song off of the Color Before the Sun album that I have on this list, which I do want to talk about the Color Before the Sun here soon. By the time I upload this video, I may have already uploaded that video, so I don't really know. But I am falling more in love with the Color Before the Sun. But Here to Mars is my favorite track off of that album, and it's just so sweet. Like, he wrote this about Chandra, and I love the Claudio Chandra love story, and I just love them as a couple, and they're just adorable, and I just love them. And whenever Claudio writes love songs for her, it's like watching your favorite couple that you're shipping in any like movie or book or whatever. It's like watching them fall in love, and that's just gives you like warm fuzzy feelings on the inside. And of course there are a lot of love songs between all of their albums, but I think Here to Mars just really hits me the most as far as like being my favorite of the more like ballady love songs that they have. All right, and then in spot number 7, I have The Final Cut. This is another one of those amazing epic songs from Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, and it's just one of those ones that you can just listen to on repeat in your car, and just rock out to the entire time. It's perfectly written, and yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it other than it's epic, and I could listen to it on repeat every day. And in spot number 6, I have Love Protocol off of the Unheavenly Creatures album. And it was interesting because I originally was not a fan of this track for whatever reason. I don't know why. Usually new Coheed stuff takes me a little while to warm up to. My initial reaction to new Coheed music is usually like the first listen is like, I don't really like it. But by like the second or third or fourth listen, I'm in love with it. And yeah, this song is another one of those ones where the chorus, where Claudio's voice just hits you on that right frequency that just makes you want to like stand up and cheer. Yeah, I love this song. All right, getting into the top 5. In spot number 5, I have Domino the Destitute. And this song is fantastic. If the stories are correct, this song was written about their bass player who left, and this was Claudio just kind of working out his feelings of loss and betrayal for having someone leave the band. Which, yeah, you definitely feel that. You definitely feel like he was a true brother to not only Claudio, but the whole band, of course. And I think this is just a perfect way to kind of deal with those emotions and put it into a story format. Of course, like the whole writing of things, even when it's fictional, is very cathartic, and I feel like the emotions all translated perfectly into this song, and it's just, the music video is cool, and the concept is cool of, this boxer and his brother and everything. But yeah, having it like multiple levels of not like background on this song is what makes it really cool, and it's just a excellently written song. And yeah, I remember when this album came out, this was like instantly my favorite track on this half of the album. And then in spot number 4, we have The Dark Sentencer, and I was recently rocking out to this in my car the other day, and yeah, I when I was making this list, I was kind of surprised by the order of some of the things that I decided. And I realized there's like a lot of newer stuff on this list as opposed to a lot of their older tracks. And I was a little bit surprised by that, but at the same time, like, they just keep getting better and better in my opinion. And The Dark Sentencer is just a heavy masterpiece. I know I'm saying this about all of these tracks basically, but this process was so hard for me to like put in order all of their songs. It felt like picking a favorite child. But yeah, the new Vaxis canon of the story and the last couple albums, the whole like lore and story writing as well as the songwriting have really just been taken up to another notch. And again, this song is one of those that just really transports you to the story. Like, you feel like you are on the Dark Sentencer about to be taken to this prison planet. Like, you feel the doom, and you feel like the epicness of the world and the scope of this situation. And yeah, it's just, I love it when they are able to translate the lore into the song and just make it such a like immersive experience. All right, and then in spot number 3, I have Window of the Waking Mind, and this is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow of their newest album. This song is so fantastic, and when I saw them on their Window of the Waking Mind tour, I was so pleased that they played this live, because I wasn't sure if they were going to, being that it's has so many different parts, and he has the acoustic guitar and the electric, and he has to switch, and it's just a masterpiece. For anyone who says that they don't like the newest album, and they complain about it being different from their other stuff, blah blah blah, I just my advice to you would just be to go listen to the closing track titled The Window of the Waking Mind, and tell me that isn't exactly the perfect progression of Coheed from like their early proggy days of creating weird music with all this lore background to it. Like it could be a musical on Broadway. It is so good, in my opinion. Yeah, I love it. It takes you like up. It has all, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but it has everything. Like, it has highs and lows, and then it has this Welcome Home reminiscent riff in it, and it's great. Just trust me. Listen to it. If you have listened to it and you didn't really care for it, listen to it again, and just listen to it on repeat until you like it. Yeah, that's my advice. All right, and then in spot number 2, I have Mother Superior from the No World for Tomorrow album, and I don't know why, but I keep going back to this song like over the years. It is gonna be one of my all-time favorite songs ever. And I believe this song was written about Josh when he first left the band, and kind of like the pains of going through that process. But I love this song so much. It just, I don't know. Again, I think I'm saying this about a lot of their tracks, but it's just epic, and it hits you right in the feels when he hits those certain notes, and it's perfect in my opinion. And then in spot number 1, I have Gravity's Union. This song is just like, if any of Coheed's songs make me cry, it's this fucking song. Okay, so first of all, there's the actual just song itself. Like, I listened to it for years and loved it, not really knowing anything about the background of the story that went behind it. And it, it stands on its own as a perfect track, and you really feel all the emotions that he puts in there. But then you layer on top the story of the concept that goes with it, and it is absolutely fucking heartbreaking. So yeah, you feel all the feels in this one, especially like when he says caged, which, first of all, I thought for years that he was saying Kate, and I was like, who is Kate? I wonder who that is. It's Caged. But when he sings that part, you just can't help but sing along, and you can't help want to just like cry at the same time if you know what it's about and what's happening in the song. And yeah, it's devastating and beautiful. If you want to know what the song's about, you can watch my video on the Afterman summary, which I'll link somewhere if you haven't watched it already. But I don't know what else to say about it other than it's just perfect. But yeah, I think I probably have cried listening to this song while I'm driving in the car. Yeah. It's good. Let me know in the comments if you've cried during any of Coheed's songs. Not live, because that doesn't count, because I'm sure we all cry a little bit when we see them live, but I'm talking about just like normally listening to them. What other band has the power to make that happen, right? That's why we love them. Anyway, that's my list. Of course, this is my, personal opinion. I know a lot of you are going to be like, hey, where's all the songs from Second Stage and In Keeping Secrets? Sorry, but if you watched my Coheed album ranking video, you know that I have those kind of down at the bottom. Not that I dislike them, of course. Coheed's never written a bad album. They've written so many albums that I just cherish highly, that this process of picking my favorites was super hard. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your top 10 or top 20 Coheed songs are, if you can even pick. If not, just tell me your top, I don't know, 3 or 5 or something, handful, whatever, in whatever order. But I'm curious to know, because when I did my Coheed album ranking, there were so many different opinions, like albums that I thought like no one liked, like Color Before the Sun. Like there were a lot of people who put that in their #1 slot. Also Year of the Black Rainbow, there's plenty of you who put that in your #1 slot, which I thought a lot of people also didn't like. So yeah, it was kind of cool seeing all the differing opinions and the whole range of things. And I think Coheed's one of those bands where you associate a certain album or a certain song with like something personal to your life and what was going on at the time when you first listened to it, and you kind of equate it to your life. And I'm going on too long about this, but yeah, drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Again, I am kind of on hiatus right now, so it may take me a little while to respond and read all of your comments, but I promise that I will get to them eventually, so just be patient. And yeah, I have a ton of other Coheed content if you want to go down the rabbit hole of that. I'll link that somewhere around here. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, freaks and children among the fence. I'll be back with another video here in a couple weeks.